What if I told you that thousands of people around the world claim they have already died and returned? They describe the same strange journey, floating above their body, traveling through a tunnel of light, or even seeing terrifying darkness. Doctors call these near-death experiences. But here's the shocking truth. These stories are not random. They are consistent, emotional, and deeply mysterious. For the next hour, I invite you to explore this journey with me. We will dive into science, real-life testimonies, and the ancient scriptures, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and the Zabur, to discover whether near-death experiences are hallucinations of the brain or true glimpses of eternity. Part 1. What is a near-death experience? Let us first understand what exactly we mean by a near-death experience. A near-death experience happens when someone is declared clinically dead. The heart stops beating, the lungs stop breathing, and sometimes even the brain shows no measurable activity. Yet, after minutes or even hours, the person returns to life. Here's where it becomes strange. They come back with memories of things they should not be able to see or know. Some describe floating above their body, looking down at doctors trying to revive them. Others speak of traveling through a tunnel with light at the end. Some feel extreme peace, while others feel terror and darkness. And what's even more shocking, these stories are the same across the world. Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, even atheists, people who never met, from different cultures, describe the same visions. If it was only the brain shutting down, why would so many people describe the same tunnel, the same light, the same feeling of leaving the body? Part 2. What science says. Now, science has tried to explain this mystery. Doctors say, when the brain loses oxygen, the cells start dying. In that process, chemicals are released that can cause hallucinations. The bright tunnel of light, they argue, comes from the brain's vision centers shutting down. The feeling of peace, endorphins flooding the system. And yet, there are things science cannot explain. For example, patients who are clinically dead often report details of their resuscitation. A woman described the exact surgical tools doctors used on her, even though her eyes were taped shut and her brain was inactive. Another case, a blind man reported seeing during his near-death experience. He described colors and lights for the first time in his life. How could a brain invent sight for someone who never had it? Science can explain parts of the puzzle, but not the full picture. Part 3. Near-death experiences in the Bible. Now let us look at what the Bible says. In 2 Corinthians 12, 2-4, the Apostle Paul speaks of a man caught up to the third heaven. He says this man heard things too sacred to repeat. Many scholars believe Paul was describing his own vision, an out-of-body spiritual experience. In the Gospel of John, Jesus says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you." Could the visions of light and peace in near-death experiences be glimpses of that promised place? And of course, in Revelation, John describes souls standing before God's throne, seeing things that humans on earth cannot see. So the Bible not only allows for such visions, it actually confirms that the soul can have experiences beyond the physical body. Part 4. The Quran's perspective. The Quran too speaks of this mysterious journey. In Surah Al-Mu'minun 23-99-100, when death comes to a person, they beg to return. "My Lord, send me back, that I might do righteousness." But the answer is no. Behind them is a barrier, barzakh, until the day of resurrection. This barrier, this unseen world, is what many near-death experiencers describe. They say, "I wanted to come back, but I was told it was not my time." Surah Kahf 50:19 adds, "The intoxication of death will bring the truth." In other words, in that moment between life and death, truth becomes visible. The Hadith literature goes further. It describes how angels of mercy appear to the believer, bringing peace and light. But angels of punishment come to the wrongdoers, bringing fear and darkness. This explains why some people in NDEs describe incredible peace, while others describe terrifying, hellish visions. Part 5. Torah and Zabur. The Torah tells us in Ecclesiastes 12:7, "The dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." The Zabur, or Psalms, gives us the beautiful and haunting words, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." That valley of shadow is described almost word for word in modern near-death experiences. People speak of entering a shadowy place, a tunnel, and then emerging into light. The scriptures wrote this thousands of years ago, and yet today, people see the same. Part 6. Real near-death stories. Let me share a few powerful real-life cases. A man in the United States suffered cardiac arrest for 5 minutes. He reported walking through a beautiful garden filled with light. He saw his mother, who had passed away years earlier, standing by a river. She told him, "It's not your time. Go back." When he awoke, he was crying, not from fear, but from leaving that place. On the other hand, a woman in Europe described a horrifying experience. After a car accident, she said she fell into darkness, hearing screams all around her. She begged for help, and suddenly, she woke up in the hospital. Her experience changed her life. She became more spiritual, warning people to live righteously. Even children report near-death experiences. A 4-year-old boy described seeing bright people with wings who sang songs to him while doctors revived him. These stories are emotional, shocking, and impossible to dismiss. Part 7. The big question: illusion or reality? So, are near-death experiences just illusions of a dying brain? Or are they real glimpses of the world beyond? Science cannot fully explain them. Scriptures give them meaning. Together, they point to one truth: the soul is real, and death is not the end. Near-death experiences remind us that life is short, and death is certain. What we do today decides what we will face in that final moment, whether it will be light or darkness. One day, you and I will also close our eyes for the last time. And maybe, just maybe, we too will see that tunnel of light. Or something else. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more shocking truths. And tell me in the comments, do you believe near-death experiences are illusions or visions of the soul?